Hi, it's Nick from the Run Testers, and this is our first run review of the Apple Watch Series 7. So the big new thing on the Apple Watch Series 7 is the larger screen, which is 20% larger than the Series 6. This has been done by kind of thinning the borders around the screen on the watch face, so the actual build isn't larger by that much. It's 45 and 41 millimeters as opposed to 44 and 40 millimeters. You can see the difference when you compare it to the previous generation, but actually on the wrist it feels like kind of just as lightweight and it feels broadly the same on the wrist, and all the kind of watch bands from previous models are still compatible with the new ones. You've also got that kind of slightly more curved and rounded edges, and the actual screen has a kind of refraction thing where it kind of curves. You can see if you're looking at the side of the watch. It's a nice little touch. I mean, you're not going to do that very much. Look at your watch from the side. But all in all, it's a nice improved screen. It's also brighter in always-on mode, so if you're kind of glancing at it, without turning your wrist fully, you'll see things slightly more clearly. The Series 7 is also more durable. It's got the same waterproofing. Crucially, it's still water resistant to 50 meters and it's swim-proof, but it's also now dust-proof. It's IP6X rated, and the screen is more kind of crack resistant. It's like thicker than on previous models, so that's a nice touch, and increase in durability is always welcome. Battery life hasn't changed. It's still 18 hours. In a sense that's an improvement because it is a larger screen, but yeah, you're still getting 18 hours, and you kind of, in terms of GPS usage, it kind of varies a little bit, but you're looking around 4 to 6 hours, depending on things like music and if you're using the heart rate and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's not a watch built for ultra marathons or for some people marathons. It's a watch designed to be charged every day. It gives you a lot of features, and that's how you really have to use it. On the plus side, it does charge quicker. So the Series 7 comes with a new fast charge cable. It's a USB-C connection that you have to plug into a kind of a wall connector, and that will charge it from 0 to 80% in just 45 minutes. You can still use the Series 7 with older Apple Watch chargers. It just won't charge, it won't have fast charge. It will just still be charging at a normal pace. Yeah, and actually if you have an old watch on the new chargers, it will work. But yeah, the fast charge only works with the new watch on the new charger. There's basically been coils changed in both the charging cable and the watch itself to deliver that performance. And another little feature it has is if you charge it for 8 minutes, you get 8 hours of sleep tracking. So if you're someone who does want to use the sleep tracking on the watch, you can charge it just before you kind of go to bed for a few minutes and get that sleep tracking, although you will then have to charge it again in the morning. You're going to charge it a lot is the point with the Apple Watch, but that's always been the case. Some other kind of new stuff on the watch, there's a couple of new watch faces. There's a new kind of contour watch face that slinks around this new screen. There's 5 new aluminium colours. This is the Midnight watch, which isn't black. It's very, very dark blue. It's almost black, for sure, but it's kind of very dark blue or indigo, I guess you could say. Then there's a nice lighter blue. There's red, green, and starlight, which is kind of silvery, goldy. It's very nice. And there's the usual stainless steel and some other colours there as well. Another new thing is automatic cycling tracking on the watch. If you start a bike ride without starting up the mode, it will notice and prompt you to start a bike ride, and it does better calorie tracking if you're using the cycling mode for e-bike riding. I'm a big e-bike user, so that's a nice little touch. Price has changed a little bit in the UK. It's from $369. That's £10 less than the Series 6 on sale for, which started at $379. But in the US it's the same, from $399. So I got the Apple Watch this morning. I've been out for my first run with it today. I just did kind of a progression 8-kilometer run and some strides. Today I used the native workouts app on the Apple Watch just because it can take advantage of the kind of new bigger screen on the watch, whereas the app I'd normally use is called Workout Doors. It's not yet been updated to expand to the full screen size. So yeah, give that a try. I ran with my phone today, so obviously the watch was kind of piggybacking on the GPS of that. I needed my phone today. I will do some testing without my phone and obviously more testing with my phone in the full review, but I was putting the Apple Watch up against a Coros Vertix 2, which has pretty good GPS, and I'd linked that watch to a chest strap monitor to compare how the Apple Watch heart rate readings were against a chest strap, which is kind of the most accurate way to measure your heart rate on the run in general. So overall, it actually performed really well today on the run. The Series 6 Apple Watch was the first one that I kind of used regularly for long stretches as my main running watch, just because the GPS was improved on that compared to past Apple Watches in my experience. The kind of 2, 3, 4, 5 all used to smooth corners quite dramatically and shorten your runs basically, whereas the Series 6 had really good GPS accuracy, one of the best watches I kind of tested over the last year, and so far the Series 7 looks like it's going to be pretty similar. I ran the same loop 3 times today, kind of progressing the pace each loop, and it kind of nailed the distance on the loop. It's around kind of 2.47, 2.48k. It produced pretty accurate results on that front, and I could see that it had followed more or less the exact path I'd run throughout. It actually was more accurate than the Vertex 2 for sure on that front. Smoothed a couple of corners a little bit, but yeah, nothing too dramatic. It's also very, very good on heart rate. The Apple Watch actually is one of the best wrist optical heart rate monitors I've come across. None of them are perfect. A chest strap is still better. You can link a chest strap to the Apple Watch, which is what I will do in time. But today, aside from a very large spike at the start of my run, where it, when it went crazy, it probably locked onto my cadence for a little bit. It dropped back down and followed the readings from the chest strap almost beat for beat really well. Really, it was really impressive performance, which is helpful because I was doing this progression run based on heart rate, so it was quite nice to have accurate heart rate readings on the Apple Watch as well as the chest strap readings. Now, some of the usual problems kind of came up with the Apple Watch, which is it still doesn't have lap pace as a stat in the native workout app. That's a stat I really like using. You can take a split by double tapping the screen, and you'll get a quick flash of your stats for that last split. But you don't get kind of any ongoing split stats. So on the run today, for example, every time I went round the loop, I would take a split. And later on in the app, I can see some basic details on each of those splits. But if I was using a Garmin, of course, any other kind of proper running watch, I'd be able to see my exact average pace, my heart rate, my distance for each individual split, as opposed to just the whole run. It's quite a basic app. It always has been the native workouts app. It's designed more for kind of your everyday kind of casual runs. Something like Work Outdoors, the app I normally use, will allow me to do all those things that you can do on a running watch. So that's what I'll be doing in the more extensive testing of the Apple Watch. But, for today, the native workouts app was fine. It performed fine. The accuracy was there. It's easy to read. I don't think the bigger screen makes any difference in the native workouts app. It's just a list of stats, list of numbers. Having a bigger screen, I guess, makes it slightly more visible, but it wasn't really on the run any noticeable difference to what I've had using the native app on the Apple Watch Series 6 or the previous versions of the watch. So it's actually going to be more in other apps, more data-rich apps. So again, I'll talk about Work Outdoors again. Like you have really nice color maps in there. They're going to be great on the bigger screen. You can put more data fields on and divide them up in different ways on the run. That'll be great on bigger screens. So when it comes to kind of basic apps of just a list of numbers, the bigger screen probably won't be that much of an advantage, but there are certainly situations on the run where I think it will be useful, and mainly when it comes to mapping and following routes. I charged the watch up to 92% before heading out for the run, and then about kind of 3.5 hours later, my watch in general was down to 75%. It's, I don't tend to worry about the battery life on the Apple Watch, and I think it'll be the case here. Like, I charge it overnight, I don't use the sleep tracking. You wake up, go for a run, at the end of the day, you're still going to have 30-40%, no matter how long that run is. I did the recent London Marathon using the Apple Watch Series 6 and, tracking kind of that run, and then wearing the watch for the rest of the day, I still had, I think, something like 30-40% of battery at the end of the day. So if you're using it like that, it's going to be okay. If you are going out for longer runs or try and use the sleep tracking and then run in the morning, you are going to have to work out ways to charge it in between, which is a bit of an annoyance. That is what you have with the Apple Watch, but you're getting so many features, they are going to sap battery, and it's just the trade-off you have here compared to a sports watch. Overall, I really enjoyed using the Apple Watch Series 7 today. I don't think there's enough here to merit an upgrade on the Series 6. You're getting a slightly bigger screen. I don't think in most situations it's going to make that much of a difference. If you run or cycle or whatever in very dusty environments, maybe that new dust-proof rating will be good, but I always found the Series 6 pretty hardy and withstand everything I subjected it to, which is mainly loads of rain here in the UK. If you do have kind of older Apple Watches like the 2, 3, 4, 5, I do think the 6 and 7 are better just because the GPS was such a big improvement for me. As a very keen runner, I can use these watches for my main running watch. I didn't find that was the case with the previous versions due to those GPS issues. So yeah, it's all in all, it's a really good watch. Obviously, it's a smartwatch, and it's a pretty great running watch. It's still not going to have things like training analysis or the monster battery lives of Garmin's and Corus's and Polars, but it is what it is, and it looks like the Series 7 will be a modest improvement on the Series 6. So obviously, we're going to do loads more testing. Mike has also got the watch. We're going to do a full multi-tester review down the line. I guess my early verdict would be that the bigger screen is a nice addition, but I probably wouldn't be splashing the cash if you already have an Apple Watch Series 6, as there's not a huge leap in terms of the features you're getting here. That's it, guys. That's our quick first run review of the Apple Watch Series 7. Are you getting the watch in? What do you hope to see from it? Let us know where you really want to focus on the full review of the watch. We've got another video coming soon with kind of my favourite running apps for the Apple Watch, having tested a load of them. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you use. Do you think the Apple Watch could ever replace your Garmin? And like, subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.